Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. I'm Stan Grauva, and the New Orleans Saints are getting after it. This weekend was a good weekend if you are a fan of the Saints because they actually had interactive activities that happened all day on Sunday. And one thing that was really nice was Kellen Moore actually spoke to the audience that was there, the fans, and it's the first time he speaks directly to the fans. So that was kind of neat. He also spoke a little bit about the heat and how hot it is here in South Louisiana and how that probably will pay dividends to the Saints. They need these kind of practices and this kind of humidity and this heat, and he thinks it's going to be a good thing. He also talks a little bit about Julian Blackmon, a kid they picked up that's going to be in the defensive backfield for the Saints, and I think he's going to be big this year. And you're also going to hear a little bit from Alondre Taylor, a good cornerback who's going to have to carry a lot of the weight in the defensive backfield this year. So again, this is all Sunday over at Saints camp, and here's Kellen Moore talking to the group.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for coming out. We're so excited to be here for training camp, to be back here in Metairie in Louisiana, to be a part of this and join up with you guys. And so this has been so much fun. Since the day we got here, we've seen how special this community is, how much you guys rally around the Saints. We're so fired up to do this thing together. The players been working their tail off all off season, and we're really, really excited to get this thing going. We're heading in the right direction. We're heading towards pads tomorrow, okay? So this will be our last day without pads. So everyone kind of knows the flow here. We'll get into a little walkthrough. Okay, we'll do stretch, individual, special teams, then we'll get into some team periods, okay? The team periods will be a little bit more in the red zone today, okay? So we'll be scoring touchdowns on offense, stopping them on defense, and so it'll be a lot of fun there as we go through this, okay? Biggest thing, guys, appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. The heat is great for us. We need this. This tests us. This puts us in preparation for the season, and so we're excited for this. Thanks for coming out. We're excited to see you guys at the Dome shortly, okay? Can't wait to have you guys at the Caesar Superdome. We know how important our home field advantage is, and it takes all of you guys to do that. And so we're fired up, appreciate you guys, and who dat?
Demario was not at practice today. Excuse absence, no issues there, all good, just so everyone's on the same page. Really hot day, humid day, which was really good for us. Obviously, we reached the threshold right at the end from a wet bowl perspective, and so we had to send the developmental group inside for the finishing part of practice, but it was a great practice. Yeah, we got a nice blend. Some guys who've been in this league for a number of years, who've contributed at high levels that we're excited to see, and some younger guys. And so for those guys, it's going to be just a matter of taking advantage of those opportunities. Running backs, having games has a big component of it, just because of the component of tackling and breaking tackles and all that. But he's done a good job. Yeah, I think there's going to be highs and lows for all of them. There's going to be some good moments. There's going to be some rough moments that we get to learn from, and that's part of what training camp is about. And so I think anytime you come off an off day, there's a little bit of get back into it. I think it's good for our guys to get used to that. You have 3 really good days, you have an off day, and now you kind of got to hop back into it and start fast. And so, all of our guys can get used to that rhythm and routine, because that's how the season's going to go. For a guy who showed up just a couple days ago and just hops in and plays defense and is communicating at such a high level, it shows the experience and the high football IQ that he has. He's a big-time player. Again, when the transition happened, Tyron ended up deciding to retire. We'd been kind of in communication with Julian for really most of the offseason as we kind of went through this, and so when the opportunity presented itself, it felt like a win-win for both sides. We obviously feel fortunate. He's a big-time player. He's contributing in a lot of different ways. Everyone's going through different situations. Sometimes you're waiting for the right opportunity from a player perspective, just making sure you put yourself in the best position moving in for the season. And so I think this thing's going to work out great for all sides.
Coming back from OTAs, kind of having a swing and knowing the playbook, knowing what to do, feels good. I haven't really got a lot of action out there, so a little frustrated with that, but it's good, though. I like it. As a group, that's really good for us. I think that's speaking volume of, our mentality, how we feel going into the red zone. We did give us some touchdowns, we're there with the 2s and the 3s, so we got to go correct those things. But, we just want to make sure we're perfect from 1s, 2s, and 3s, not just the 1s, so the next guys can be ready to go. I think the biggest role for the safeties is just communication, letting the corners know what they need to play, and making sure the stars know what they need to do, and knowing if we're passing off, if we're not, if we're locking, if we're not. There's always been some. Me being quick and having speed is always a plus, and then having our edge guys outside and knowing what they're going to do helps a lot. I think Coach Staley kind of dials them up at the right time. So I think that's probably the most special thing about it.
Is there like some instinct involved in that too?
Yeah, you gotta know who your tackles are, who you're going up against, knowing if they're quick, if they set high, if they set low. So that'll be something that I'll implement into my film study this year that I didn't do last year.
Again, Kellen Moore and Alante Taylor talking to the press yesterday, and obviously that first little clip you saw, Kellen Moore actually talking to the fans who were out at Saints training camp, an interactive day for the Saints. They'll be there in Metairie for a few more days, and then they get on a plane and they head west. They will be heading out to Cal Irvine to practice there, which they did in prior years, where they get a little bit of the humidity out of the way. But as you saw, Kellen Moore really likes the idea of getting some of those practices in here in South Louisiana, because it does certainly prepare you. Only thing is, you don't want to get too burnt out on all of this. It all starts week after next. And when I say week after next, we have the Hall of Fame game this Thursday. Then the following weekend, the Saints will be in action in Los Angeles against the Chargers. So it works out really well for them because they'll be in California anyway. And that's the first opportunity that we'll get to see the Saints in action. And we'll get to find out maybe, just maybe, who's the front runner for the quarterback position. I think it's really early as it stands now. A lot of people talking about Spencer Rattler being really good. We'll see how it all shakes out. A lot of preseason to go. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Bayou Times Sports right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.